Hey, what is going on, folks? It is that time of the week again. It is time for a drip check. And I know I was gone for a little bit. I had some prior obligations I had to take care of when I was out of town for a bit, but we're back on schedule. And we've got a couple of new friends here who have supplied us with some fantastic designs. And if you want your design in a future upload, all you gotta do is join that Discord server down in the description, throw your fashion in the Fashion is the End Game channel, and we will get your fashion in a future upload. Anyways, without further ado, let's hop into some pieces I put together myself. So this here is something that is a little more utility based, something that looks kind of tactical, as some might say. We've got all these little pieces of equipment kind of attached throughout the armor here. I wanted to make the Gifted Conviction work. The base ornament for it is a little more on the medieval side, while the Sincerity ornament here is more on that tactical sort of sci-fi military look. And so that's why I went with that. We got the Cinder Pinion grasps here that adds a little utility on the wrist. We got the Intrepid Discovery mask, which you can swap out for anything else that has that military style, and it would work just as well. We've got the Krista Kreen strides here, which also has a bit of utility on the side of the belt. And with the Prodigial cloak, you've got this radio sort of bit in the back here, and a little bit of that rough and tough look to the edges of the cloak. Now, I went with an Iron Battalion. I wanted to go something a little earthy or tan, like a desert sort of look. I fell on the Iron Battalion because I found it was a good middle point. The green is a little more of that muted green, olive green, and you can rock like Iron Wolf on it. Looks pretty solid. Dawning Hope isn't half bad either. Precursor Vex Chrome is nice if you're looking for more of a winterized look. Mercury Prophetic works really well with sort of military designs, sci-fi military designs, futuristic military designs, or like Gambit Leather. Rusted Iron works pretty nicely for a more vibrant tone. Copper and Blood is pretty solid. Tangle Rust is a little more on the muted side, almost sun bleached. But overall, anything desert, earth, whatever, winter works really well with something like this. Now let's move on to my next bit. And this here is my current setup for my relativism cloak here. I know this is a very hard cloak to make work with fashion, so you got to make do with what you can. And since it is such a crutch piece when it comes to the prismatic subclass, you got to make do. So here I decided to swap out my previous mask with the Prodigal mask, kept the Hardened Basilisk arms there, the Eidolon Pursuant tunic, adds those little pipes on the side, those little tubes, and the Unyielding Favor strides, continuing with that top to bottom armored look. Now, I went with Coleoptera because the eyes more specifically on this mask are very piercing. They stay warm tones. You're only going to get like a yellow green, maybe even like a lime green, yellows, oranges, reds. The Coleoptera just looks fantastic with it. Overall, pretty solid cohesive look. Could use some work, but this is what I've been currently rocking as of lately when I'm using my prismatic subclass. Now, we've got a couple of new people, some new faces in the crowd here that have supplied us with some very, very solid transmogs. And up first is going to be Boris, rocking the Stompies here with the Astro Strides ornament, making use of a variety of armor sets with the Phenotype Plasticity mask for a bit of a Vex tone. First Ascent grips, the First Ascent vest there that just work together really nicely with something that's a little more along the lines of like an adventurer, a scavenger, somebody out in the field taking notes. But the Astro Strides there add a bit of a mechanical feel to them. That this is not somebody to be trifled with. This is a mechanical beast. With the Psionic Stalker cloak there, adding a bit of a Cabal touch to it that really falls in line with that Vex helmet. The Cabal and Vex aesthetic here work together very, very nicely. And then overall, I just love purple. Chitin Slate and the Barusian Knight shader just work really well. Spark of Hope adding the white to the mask there. Thank you, Boris. This is looking mad solid. Up next, we have a returning face here with Cameron Duke and his Titan. Now, I like to believe that every season there is at least one or two armor pieces that work well in a transmog from the seasonal armor set. And for Titans this season, or I guess episode, the Untethered Edge helm is absolutely fire. Of course, taking inspiration from the Vex aesthetic, but adding that dyed finality there to really send home the resonant Vex vibe. The Hardened Basilisk gauntlets there are some of the more slimmer options for the Titan's arms, but in this look, it works very well. We got the Knightly Noir Greaves, Untethered Edge mark, and the momentous potential for the Hazardous Propulsion chest piece there, all coming together to look just beautiful. It's mean, and that singular Vex eye there just pierces. Up next, another new face here. We've we've got Goose rocking a pretty solid knight look here with the Bread and Mart's Iron Helm, Autos Resolve, Wolf-Kissed Plate, Carrick Type 2, Terra Concord Mark with the Kare Black shader up and down here, giving a sort of steel texture, steel look, really driving home the armor of the knight. Now, something I really enjoy about this piece is the hidden shield on the back, and I think it just ties it all together absolutely phenomenally. So fantastic job, Goose. Thank you for your submission here. And last but not least, we have Loki, who has supplied us with two very solid Celestial Nighthawk looks here. This one here looking a little more on the Tolkien side of things. Now you have the sort of mechanical legs here with the Eidolon Pursuant Leggards, but the Cloak of the Taken King mixed with the sleek design of the Celestial Nighthawk there with the Biochrome Oasis all comes together to give us a very sleek, nimble, and sharp design. On the other piece here, we have more of the gunslinger vibe with the TM Earp custom cloaked Stetson. Now, I'm a sucker for the cowboy hat. I just got it literally 2 days ago after however long Spire of the Watcher has been in the game, and I am absolutely thankful for it. And Descendant Vex Chrome, sleeper shader in my opinion. I love the sort of lived in tone of it, the overtaken by the biological elements of a previous civilization, and it shades weapons very well. Throw it on a gun, take a look, throw it on a ship or something. You got to see the sort of iridescent tone it adds to it. That shimmer, that gold and brown and green reflection is super nice. Now here it is the same design overall, except for the cloak is changed out, but the shader really does a lot to set it apart from its previous style. And finally here, another little mix up to this that just shows how customizable this look is without losing any of the charm of the previous two styles. Now you see the legs here have been swapped for the Stompy's Astro Strides ornament. They look pretty close to the Eidolon legs, and you're getting all the perks of a different exotic while maintaining that sleek look that they've got going on here. I really dig it a lot. The helmet swapped out for the Iron Companion mask, which always looks super sleek, especially with the Descendant Vex Chrome on it. Overall, absolutely phenomenal entry here, Loki. Thank you very much. Anyways, y'all, that is going to wrap it up for this week's drip check. I hope you guys like some of these submissions here, and hopefully it inspired you to make some looks of your own, because like I always say, fashion is the end game, y'all. It's the reason I always keep coming back. Anyways, once again, that Discord server is down in the description. Join in on that if you want to submit a fashion build for yourself, or if you just want to chat. Either way, I highly appreciate all the support that we've gotten on these videos, and thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you like, subscribe if you wish. It's not mandatory, but it's always so appreciated. Take care. I'll catch you on the flip side. Deuces.